our current situation was more complicated than ever. The citizens of Pergamon screamed of warfare in the east. Armenia was weak and therefore an obvious target for us. The same could be said for Egypt, who wouldn't expect an attack now. There is still time to keep the balance of the Hellenic world and save the Seleucids. But an esteemed advisor's opinion weighs more. Sumari pleaded us to face the wrath of the gods, whatever the price, save Greece from the evil beings known as Romans, and gain massive advantages. The reward is simply too great. Face them we must, yet our forces were severely weakened after our war in Thrace. More armies and soldiers were required. For that we need gold. I kept embezzling money while we never ceased to stop sending diplomats to the Ptolemies. For a while, they actually didn't seem too interested in us. Have they heard the news from Antigonus Gonatas? Maybe they're starting to think of us as a rival. I can't tell from here. No matter, as we didn't need their support, our attempt to centralize our kingdom has paid off. Asia Minor now flowed with gold and precious resources ready for us to use. With that, we were able to prepare 3 new armies while keeping our fleets up and running. Before I set out to Greece, I debated whether to increase our taxes or not, but decided against it. With that said, I marched out alongside my men. With the assistance of grateful locals who wished us success, we could safely sneak past Larissa, so the Romans had no chance to defend Athens from our attack. The once mighty city-state switched to our side at the exact second all of the Roman invaders were killed. And after looking around, it was clear to see why. The rumors were true. Hades had stolen Athena Parthenon. This was why they interfered in Greece. The statue must have been brought to the underworld for the amusement of Hades. There is only one way to know for sure. We must save the Oracle of Delphi for answers. Our first tactic was also found here. A scroll that mentioned the arts of forming a triangle or wedge to cut through the enemy's center and score great victories. This will definitely prove to be useful. And just like that, messages from all over the kingdom arrived. Seeing our heroic deeds in fighting Rome, the Egyptians showed their generosity to us again. They gave us Epirus alongside unprecedented wagons of gold and silver. Our war was definitely funded now. I immediately ordered the recruitment of more ships and armies. Now we weren't fighting against the odds, we were the odds. As I laid siege to Larissa, one of my generals found a demonic army moving towards us, destroying everything in its path. They couldn't fight on their own, so I recalled them back to me. Which scared the Romans, I think. At least they retreated back, most likely seeking to return to the underworld. Without hesitation, we pursued. Here, it actually would have been a good idea to visit the Oracle of Delphi now, but we simply didn't have time for it. It had to wait. And there we are, our first major battle against godlike beings. We might outnumber them 2 to 1, but don't be fooled. Their strength is beyond ours. The fight will take place here. Let me see if I got this right. I'm supposed to add my shock infantry to the tip of my formation, while the pikemen and hoplites are guarding their flanks, archers in the center and me alongside our cavalry anywhere on the field. Good, but the scroll said nothing about reinforcements. Oh well, I'll just add them to the flank. some of them might stay behind as backup. The Romans were moving around in weird formations, making it hard to actually get a proper charge. But the battle eventually started, so I ordered all of our cavalry to support our right flank. The left would slowly engage the enemy as well. Numbers were too great for these demonic beings. I never thought I could defeat armies summoned by the gods. A victory was great, but not enough. Apollonia was still under Roman control, and before they were freed, my quest wasn't completed. At the same time, another of my armies marched further up the coast to do the same as we did in Thrace. He liberated the towns and client-stated them. It took quite a lot of gold this time, but we have plenty of it. I couldn't complain. And yet again, as one of the tribes actually refused to submit to our reign. He will have to be taken care of in the future. I had also sent over spies to what I believed was the underworld. So far the enemies were out of sight. Until they decided to reveal themselves, they will be easy targets. With that, I captured Apollonia, officially liberating Greece and gaining a massive perk in the process. If I were to die, I could rewind time once to give me a second chance of success. I doubt I'm ever gonna need it, but it is better than utter failure. Further down the coast, a massive clash between our fleets took place. I don't know the full extent of the battle as I wasn't there, but all I know is that our brave marines succeeded. By now a familiar flash appeared before me. Zeus had returned.
Eumenes, you have achieved much since we last spoke. You have risen above expectation and established yourself as a true Diadochi, ruling from Cappadocia to Greece. You have even secured several important locations which will help you an extra life and the honoring Oracle of Delphi. Your fight against the Romans is over. Your men will do the rest, but another task awaits you in the east. It is time for you to follow the path of your ancestor Alexander the Great. But first, seek the answers you require from the Oracle. You will need it.
With the news of me not being needed in Italy, I gave command of my army over to Attalus, an important character you might get to know in the future. But now I had other things to attend to. Before I entered the halls of the Oracle, I had to figure out what to ask for. I can only ask one question for now. It can be about my most dangerous enemy, where to find a specific tactic, or even how to gain mass wealth. Maybe where the Athena Parthenon is being kept. I have to think carefully about this one. Before you click off this video, I would like to promote the poll we got going on. We are currently debating what hero and monster the first Total War Troy Mythos DLC narrative should be about. If you haven't voted yet, I hope you are gonna sooner or later, or else I'll have to do it for you. Furthermore, the war against Rome was finished off screen, as I didn't want this campaign here to lose focus from our goal. I have the footage of it and could potentially make a side story, so to say, if you would like to watch it. Please let me know in the comment section. But with that said, goodbye and spread happiness.